Hi, Brent Haynes with Woodsound Flutes, and I'm just really excited to share with you the newest flute of the month for April. It's called Life. In April, the springtime, I always seek to have something as a flute of the month that is in somehow a renewal, a regeneration, a rebirth, if you will. And so Life Flute is very much along those lines. The box is an optional box that can be purchased with the flute, and it holds all of the totems for the flute inside it. So you can see we've got a totem for spring, summer, fall, and winter, and I'll show those all to you on the flute, and then the flute here itself. So I need a table to do this with. Now let's say I just want to display everything together. I'll put all my totems. A little exercise in let's say like this. So I've got the spring totem ready to put on the flute right now. Go ahead and put that on. That looks good. And so the flute set can be displayed something like this. We've got the spring, summer, fall, and winter, and this whole idea of the tree and the cycles of the trees, the seasons of the trees, is an idea that came from one of my clients, Mary Drake, and this flute set is by and large was really kind of driven by Mary and her desire at one point to paint some tree of life totems for her own flute that would have all 4 seasons with it. And so we made her 3 totems that she painted, and then we refinished over the paint, and then made her the winter tree as well. And Mary's been, gosh, Mary and I go back a long time, maybe 12 years, something like that. It might even be longer. It might be closer to 14 or 15 years that I've known Mary. Just a delightful person, lives in the backwoods of Idaho, and makes beautiful, beautiful music, and does lovely painting. She's gifted my family with a couple of paintings that we really treasure. One of them is a painting of my daughter and my oldest daughter and my wife looking down on some hot springs, and another painting is a painting of the Tree of Life, and those paintings are in a prominent place within our home. I just love Mary. The flute itself, of course, is got its on the bottom has the name of the flute, Life, number 1 of 10. We're only going to be doing 10 of these flutes because of the painting of and getting all these totems together was a lot of work, and so we decided let's limit it to only 10 flutes, and then each flute has on it Mary's signature, because she is such a prominent figure in this creation. So let me go ahead and play it for you. sounds just beautiful. It's a beautiful sounding instrument. One of the goals that I had with this flute, and it may not look like it based on the price, but I wanted to, the last flute of the month was a Brazilian rosewood, which is a very expensive wood, very hard to find and things that way. And so on this flute, we wanted to have, let me see, I'm going to actually set this box down so that I can speak more freely. So on the Gratitude flute was made from the Brazilian rosewood, which is of course the creme de la creme of acoustic woods, and as exotic as things can really be. On this flute, Mary and I both wanted to use trees that were seasonal trees that created, went through all the seasons, changed colors, lost their leaves, and so on. And so the mouthpiece, the shoulders here, and the end cap are all made out of walnut burl. The tree itself is walnut burl inside the tree, and then this outer edge here is maple that's painted over, and then we have the maple base, and the only ebony we have is on the base of the totem because it works so well as a functioning part of the wet area of the flute. And so then underneath we have a little bit of turquoise. And so we kept the design of this flute very, very simple because we wanted it to speak of the simplicity of life and the changing of the seasons and the things that were most important. So you could think of this as the walnut as being the soil which is the tree needs to root itself in, and then the turquoise is the living waters that provide the water and sustenance to the tree to exist, allow all of the nutrients to come up from the ground and allow it to breathe in carbon dioxide and release the oxygen that's so important to us as creatures who breathe oxygen. Without the trees, we're really in a bad place. And with all of my flutes, I feel like this is one of the messages that I hope that we communicate with the work that we do is how important it is to protect the resources that we have. And each one of these woods has such a unique beauty. This particular flute has all of these flutes will be made with this curly maple. I bought a large board of curly maple, and the curl in it is very, very intense. There's a little bit of bluing on one side. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that on all of the flutes or not, but we will be trying for that. But the figure of the maple on the entire board is spectacular, and so so I'm really excited for people to get it. But it's a wood that's relatively available. It's not a wood that's the curl is more difficult to find. Finding maple that's got great curl throughout is more difficult. But maple is a relatively available wood and is cut in a sustainable way. And the walnut burl is the same. This comes from Northern California, and in walnut groves there is where this walnut burl comes from. And so all of this is a very sustainable creation. Well, let's go ahead and exchange some totems so you can see what the flute looks like with the various totems on it. So that was spring. Summer looks very, very similar. I should have had 4 leather straps up here already. Okay, so summer is just this beautiful, vibrant green, and with little bits of highlights in the green, and you can see the branches going throughout the tree, and each tree is actually cut so that the leaf part of it is separate from the trunk part. They are different pieces, and then they're fit together like a jigsaw puzzle. And the reason for that is because it allows for you to see and follow the grain rather than just painting the tree on the surface, to do it where the tree and the branches are different woods from the leaves, I think is really neat. Of course, the base on these totems is the curly walnut, or curly maple. I love the autumn totem as well. Probably autumn. I don't know which one's my favorite. I really like the spring totem. I like the autumn totem. And I really actually like the winter totem too, which we'll show you here in just a minute. Falling leaves, perhaps. Anyways, I love the vibrancy of autumn. Such a beautiful time of year. This year in Utah, we're going to have a really green spring, as there was a lot of rain and snow that came. We really needed it to replenish the water that was gone. We were just down in Phoenix this last weekend, and it was so green down there. Just a beautiful, beautiful year in Phoenix. So, isn't that just awesome looking? I love just the branches. But I have a deep, deep love affair for trees. I love looking at them wherever I go. I love looking at the twisting grain and just how the thing forms and grows. And to me, it's just all magic. It's just really like magic that these things exist. They're really incredible. Anyways, this is winter, and I love that winter gives us that time of rest. All the totems we sent down to Mary to be painted during the winter time when she was snowed in, and she had so much snow up there in Idaho this year. She sent me pictures, and it was just unbelievable. Had to get it off of the roof and to keep it from caving in and things. And it's been a long time since we've had that much snow down here in Utah. I think 83, 84 is the last time I had to shovel snow off a roof here in Utah. But anyways, winter time gives us that time that our bodies need to rest. There's lots of ways to think about life and the cycles that we go through. These yearly cycles. I typically try and take a weekly cycle where I work really hard during the week, and then and I typically work Saturdays, just as the way that things are right now. And then on Sunday, I try to not really do much of anything and allow my body to rest and allow myself to spend time being with family. Those cycles are so important to us, to living healthy and being healthy. And then we return from the rest to this beautiful time of spring. Right now, when I got home and went out to the shop this morning, I noticed my plum tree is just starting to blossom, and I'm so excited about it. Last year I got, I think, one plum off the tree because I pruned it too late in the year. And so this last year I said, I'm gonna prune that tree in December so that come springtime I don't lose any of the potential new growth, and we're gonna have a great harvest of plums this year. Hopefully apples too, but it hasn't started blossoming yet. Anyways, this is the life totem, or the life flute. Again, we've got the waters of life down here. We've got the cycles of life through the seasons of the trees, and just a really beautiful, beautiful creation. Bring this box right back up for you to see. I don't really get to know what I shot on the video until I've had a chance to edit it. So I'm hoping that I get enough good shots of this that you're able to see What a beautiful setup. Now the base or the box is walnut. It's a walnut veneer on MDF. It's been a really great wood for us. I've started using this for our flute stands and for making boxes because it's just really stable, and so it doesn't tweak or torque or anything weird like that, and it's really gorgeous looking. And then we've got the maple burl, or the curly maple stand that makes for the flute stand. And of course, each box is engraved with the Woodsounds Tree of Life logo, and then of course life number 1 of 10 here on the in the engraving. So, if you have any interest in talking to me about this flute or another, I would be so delighted to talk with you. You can reach me at 801-822-1415 or brent@woodsounds.com. Again, I'm Brent Haynes with Woodsounds. Have a superb day.